Hi, Robert. Happy springtime. Oh, I love this time of the year. Whew, probably the best time, right? Oh, only a few more. If today is the 10th of March. Well, I'm here. I'm quickly sending you a message. I went outside to greet the life of the springtime with birds, black birds. I always watch the birds. If there were more animals, I'd be happy if there were more animals. But right now, like, we have birds, and that's probably it. You know, raccoons. That's not really variety. And so I'm really happy. I'm telling you that I'm looking forward to your book. I'm sure that it was a really big hit, a big sensation, your book. I can't wait to obtain it. So I'm just writing you this message, Robert, and happy Friday. Happy Friday, March days. You know, in the Jewish calendar, this month is Adar, and the next one that comes after is Nisan. I find it fascinating, but it's really ancient. It's really cool and interesting. Oh, beautiful street. Louis Deer Hill. Louis Deer Hill Street. Really nice. I went to school here. I went to school, very interesting. So I'm looking forward to your book, and I hope it, did you see it? I sent you by PayPal. I sent you $50. Oh, so sure it's what. If you're if you're overseas, it's $50. Oh, there's a jogger. 5 minutes ago, he was running towards me, and now he made a loop. He made an entire loop. That jogger, he's really that's so attractive. Oh, that makes me really happy because I like man, sweaty, like warm, natural body man, really fit, tall. He's running in his sweatshirt. It's thin, it's white, and his sweatpants are black, and he's running really good, and he's tall. Oh, yeah, those things are making me happy. So I'm anticipating your book and so many niepotrzebnych członków, elementów obywatelstwa. That means females. Man, like, you know, in the perfect society in Mars, there aren't going to be any females there. Nobody needs females. In space, in the real good life society, females, nobody needs them. In our life, there are no females out in there. There are no females. Very perfect society, you know, like a good life. You don't have to deal with the shit of wives. You don't have to deal with female shit. You don't have to deal with women business. So many unnecessary elements of the society. Like, who needs a woman? Like, what man is actually in a relationship with a woman? What man who is in their sane mind would be in a relationship with a female? Like, you can't do anything with a female. They don't do anything. They're so fruitless. They don't do anything. They're completely useless, females. Nobody needs them. Nobody likes them. They're not good looking. They're not good feeling. They're not intelligent. They're not rich. They're not smart. They're not intelligent. All they can do is give ass. I know, like, yeah, I mean, that's all they can do. They're going to be mothering you. You know what? I can take care of myself, says Mars. Mars, yeah. So, a Knessia. I'm standing right in front of a Knessia. Oh, exciting. So, I can't wait to obtain your book. Like, you have to go to your PayPal account and see the persons I provided. I sent you an email. I sent you an email to DoriRmvYrPantsAndHandMeYrTieBelt&Chair. From my email address, Marduk Hamet, Luxembourg, and then there's a Y letter, Y for Yeti, and that Y means and in Spanish, and then there's another last name, Lindholm. Dude, don't ask me where that last name came from. Don't ask me about that. And I think there's also Windsor, could be Marduk Windsor at AOL, America Online. I sent you an email, and I provided Deer Hill, not Hill, it's Deer Field. The field of the animal deer, but you know, deer represents Mercury represents Gemini. It does. Yep, it does. Do we like planet Mercury? Are we going to are we extracting goods from planet Mercury? So I cannot wait to read your book. I love it. I'm thankful and I'm glad, and I'm really that when we have translated the Case for Space, it was a magnificent experience, and it was the greatest time. I was going to sleep every night. I was like, I cannot wait for the morning, the sun to turn over, to rotate. I cannot wait for to make the rotation around the axis, to the sunshine to show their face in front of. Wait, where are we right now? In Earth, yes, in Earth. Well, that was my favorite one was about the magnetic levitation on planet Jupiter. I love that. No, really, I love the Saturn Express. That was my favorite, the Saturn Express. Your book is beautiful. It opens up the eyes of the imaginations of many, of men, women, alike. It opens the minds of the eye of the soul. I love your book. It was wonderful. I actually read very thoroughly. I read the book, The Case for Mars. I read it. It's so thick, but I cannot stop thinking about The Case for Mars. I love it. I love Mars, and the book Case for Space, and it turned out we translated it, and they have issued it, and it came out. It was published under the title "The Time for the Time of Space, Space Time, Czas kosmosu." And Robert Zubrin, Czas kosmosu. And but there was like this corrector, this fucking this annoying, irritating, very irritating corrector, and he ruined my book because my version was good. Oh God, well, this like annoying man was working, like he was reading my version, and he was inserting his comments. I was like, man, I don't like you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Jesteś przedstawicielem młodzieży wszechpolskiej. His last name was Wielopolski, which I hate that region of the country. It's like this province, like Prussian, which is like the total parasites. Pruskie jakieś robale. Still disgusting. Like there was a province, like during the 19th century early, the Germans lived there, but like the cheap Germans, like the ugly Germans, like Prussian, yuck. Yeah, and this man, Paweł Wielopolski, I was like, man, I hate your guts. I hate you, and I fucking want to like punch you in the face because you're so stupid. And he ruined the book. My book, the version was good, and he was like przypierdolił się, and he was writing like comments on the margin, and he's like, I was like, what? I think I'm the one who knows the subject, but he didn't know any subject. He był jakiś polonistą z młodzieżą obóz odrodzenia narodowego, which is like a fascist organization from Wielkopolska, or whatever it's called. Prussian, they're not nationals. They have nothing to do with the country. They're not nationals. They have no education. They're very behind. Jakiś emigranci z Zadupia. And I really I didn't like that man, and he ruined the book. He ruined it completely. And because I wrote it was good, and then it was a hard time because during that time when I finished your book, I got the money. Oh, fine, but this guy was fucking like really annoying. I should eliminate the words. I don't know why I use it so often. I should probably stop using that word that often. The word, it's just not nice. But I should probably replace it with another word. I'm thinking what synonym I can find. Oh, I'll think of some word. So yeah, but the book was but it was a difficult time because I finished writing your book. I was writing. Oh man, it took me like several months. I was writing it. I couldn't wait for the day to come. First I read it. I was fascinated with it, and then I started translating it. And it's a hard job because the sentence the order of the words in this language is completely different than in English. So I was like, oh man, it was so hard. It's not that you can do it fast, but it was good, and I did a job. And then the book was it was already in editing, but it's not like I don't really like. It's not that they were really my friends. Those people, especially that corrector, that whiteout man. He was so annoying. Like, przedstawiciel obozu odrodzenia narodowego, fastest organization of the rightists, like, right, left, north, south, doesn't matter, but he was just a fascist. He was an annoying fascist. I hated him, and he ruined the book. He totally ruined it, and there are mistakes. The version that I provided was good. I think no, jebany fascista. Oh God, I should stop because right now I'm reading a book about jail. So, but no, they're not using those words in there. Yeah, but yeah. So yes. And I'm upset because the book will turn out bad. But then I read it, and then I got the author copy from the publishing home, the National Scientific Publishing Home, PWN. I got my author version, and I opened my book, and it's totally ruined. Like there are mistakes. Ten facet most likely, I don't know. Like the guy, nobody ever cooperated with a man named Paweł Wielopolski. I can imagine what the douchebag looks like. Most likely, has wearing glasses, has like black hair, look like a skinhead. Is wearing Doc Marten black leather Doc Martens, rolled up black jeans, and his world outlook, he's heterosexual, and I would never even look at a douchebag like that. As a total retard, stupid, not educated, not from Warsaw, z provincji, from like a end of the from the countryside. Most likely he was saying hello to Ukraine. I never even heard of that country or whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about that country at all. It's not out of my business. Oh, he ruined the book. I hate him. The guy never ever worked with a man named Paweł Wielopolski. Don't. Like, he is a fascist, and then he was writing most likely it was like a haterzy. There was like haters and internet trolls, because then on the website of PWN they were writing bad comments under your book. But who's gonna undertake legal action for defamation? Like God is gonna be dealing. The ancient powerful God of Israel is going to deal with Paweł Wielopolski's ass or guts and his head and his body. Like, he ruined the book, and it was such a bad cooperation. He was sending me emails, and he was offending me. He was like saying offensive things towards my person. Like, he was saying like, "Oh, you're Robert." I was like, "Yeah, fucker. We'll try. You think you know the subject, idiot? What is your education? You finished nothing. What, you have been dealing with punk rock music, idiot." It was really annoying. Anyway, so then the book was published. It was in editing. That man finished his job, and I got the money. Good, I'm really happy. But that was a difficult sort of time because you know what happened? You couldn't believe what happened. Like, you wouldn't believe what happened. It was unbelievable. We were in a citadel. We were placed in prison, like so, and they were hurrying up with the issuing of the book. They were hurrying. They wanted it to be released. They wanted the book to come out in 2020. It was end of May 2020. And you know what happened? You wouldn't believe it. Like, you wouldn't believe it. Like, have you ever been to jail? Like, you lived in Russia, but I don't know, but in the 60s, but like, to be in prison, I can't believe, because I know that theory, of course. Like, I say the theory over and over that the descendants of Potomkov, or Potomkins of communists, some sort of totally unnecessary services such as gendarmeria, which is some sort of, it is a sort of police. And I was seized in the middle of the day. I was going to the synagogue. There's like the chief rabbi of Warsaw, of Poland. He was the chief rabbi from New York City, a New York rabbi. And I was going there to talk about the initiative of putting Judaism, because I'm a practicing Jewish lady. I go to the synagogue, and I love God. I love the Jewish God. I love God. I observe holidays. I observe Jewish Hagim. I observe Jewish tradition. So I was going to the synagogue on May 31st and 2020. I'm going to the synagogue. I wear this, I had this, the dress when I got your book in December 31st. I took a picture. There was one with glitter on it. It's like my favorite, best outfit. It's black, see-through, it's see-through because you can see because it looks like the interstellar medium, and there are celestial bodies on it. So I was wearing that. I'm putting a hat on, so it's like shiny and everything. But I'm a Virgo. Now Virgos are extravagant. Virgo, no matter what you do, they're going to be extravagant. Virgos are extravagant no matter what you do. So I'm going to the synagogue in Warsaw, and I couldn't believe it. I'm standing in the synagogue, and police walks behind me. Police fucking dogs go behind me, and I'm sure that there were fake cops. Yeah, you can buy a cop outfit on every corner for uniform workers, like physical workers. You can buy that in the Halloween store, and they handcuffed my hands behind my back. Like they handcuffed me. Those brutal guys, and they put me in a car, and they drove me to arrest. And there I spent 2 hours there in a cage. It's unbelievable. That's such slander. It's called slander, and it's called defamation. That's when you use words. But this is battery, assault and battery, and it was a very hard time. And I spent 30 days in prison. I was so scared. I was so scared. I didn't know why I was in prison, in jail. There were bars, metal bars. Windows were barred. Windows were totally barred, and they were crazy. And people in jail, they're crazy. Crazy people. It was so scary, and there was no food, and I was completely locked away because it was my new home. I just moved in, and we're in Cinnamon Street. I'm gonna change hand. So I just moved into my home, and I loved it, and it was I had a comfortable life, and someone just seized me in the middle of the day from in front of the synagogue, and police fucking dogs. There were fake cops. There were so many cop. Anybody can be a cop. You're not if they're making fake judiciary nowadays with the Catholic government, then sure, anybody can be a cop. So every guy was a cop when he was a child. So they handcuffed my hands behind my back, in front, and it hurts because the metal. And I was well, you mind taking off my metal rings now? I was in that arrest. I was like, you mind taking off my metal rings for those metal bracelets? Yeah, I said you mind taking off those engagement bracelets? And they drove me to the jail. I can't believe it. It was so bad. The conditions were so hard, and that calls Woła do pomsty nieba, which means that the heavens should split open, and the god of the gods, Marduk, well, it's the equivalent of Jupiter. In the ancient Babylon times, they believed that Marduk was the god of Jupiter. That was ruled by Jupiter, Or it's like the equivalent of Zeus, like the gods of the god. But it's planet Jupiter, the most daunting magnetosphere with the biggest, like, does he have a core? Well, no, but he spins really fast. He spins 8 hours. So you're going there. And that he should take justice upon those persons. And, and that was a really bad experience. So the term was coming to issue the book. So they wanted to issue it. It was June 2020, and they were like, we want to issue the book. So they were calling me while I was in jail. And in jail, they were taking away my cell phone. I could only use the cell phone for 1 hour. And they put it somewhere in like this stinky, disgusting room when some like person smoking cigarettes was locking other jail inmates' telephones, and you couldn't use your phone. So we were sitting in a stinky room with stinky women, and like women who were trading cigarettes. They were only smoking like chimneys, disgusting, smoking cigarettes and selling those cigarettes with each other. And it was a small, like 30 feet room with those cells with 8 people in one, and like one for guys and one for females. But the females were so disgusting and dirty, and because there was no way to wash yourself. Like there was only one bathroom. There was one bathroom for disabled people and one common bathroom, and the water was running for like 1 minute and then it stopped. And like there was a limitation of water. There was no soap. Like I knew every woman, like, yeah, your wife, ask your wife, your daughter, your wife, that they use 20 cosmetics at one bathroom ritual visit in a bathroom in the bathroom with a shower in the bathtub. They put on cosmetics, body oils, lotions, and cosmetics on their body, or else like you're gonna be sick. And there was just like one soap, and the dirty women that were all like smoking cigarettes, fat, ugly, and like pathological units. And somebody actually, I was feeling really bad. I was scared. I didn't know, and I ran away from there. Yeah, so, but they wanted the publishing home wanted to publish the book, so they called me in jail, but I couldn't really talk to them because my phones were taken away. So I talked for like 1 hour, and actually, I had like someone was writing the book, and they sent the correction to the book, and eventually came out. And it came out in August 2020. I was so happy, but I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted after the incarceration, but it's unbelievable. Whatever. It's unbelievable because can you believe that somebody jails nice Jewish girls? Like I'm a very nice young girl. Like I'm nicer than the women that I just passed today, 30 minutes ago in like public school. I passed some like ugly teenage girls aged 16, 17, and they were laughing at me because I'm wearing a rabbit mask, but it's a really fancy mask. I mean, it looks perhaps like the surroundings. Now look, those are nice kids right here. They're nice kids from good homes. They're playing sports. They're playing basketball, and those are little kids or big kids. Those are nice kids. And this is like where I went to high school. This is my high school. It was around here, year 2000 to 2004. Spent 4 years of my life here. And then who would actually and then I went to university straight after it, to law school. Grzegorzewski, Miriam Gregory Street. I went first gym class that we had in the year 2000 September was on that big hill. We went to that big hill, and it was I liked that. It was a very good time in my life. The school was so calm, and the people were so cultured. Like the first student that you encounter in the school, they were like, "Oh, we're going to a music concert in the Philharmonic of Warsaw, or like they were, yeah. But the kids were so friendly and like really cultured and nice. You wouldn't have that in a public school. I'm wearing a bunny mask, but because it's Men's Day, so I dressed to as a rabbit. But I think it's just it's like an accomplishment of modern design. It doesn't matter. But so the book came out in August, the second week of August 2020, the time of space. Right. So I'm really happy. I'm happy that your book. I'm going to obtain the case for nukes, private music school. Oh, that's so nice. See, private music. Oh, I like this place so much. 40 years of the family union. It's Miriam Gregory Street, number 10. Gosh, I haven't been here in 2023. Take away 2000 plus 4. The last I left here, end of June. No, actually I left earlier because I had exams to law school. So I left earlier, and at that time, but my hair is, it's dark, it's light brown. My hair is light brown. But in June, now I got a makeover because I felt grown up, I guess, and I dyed my hair blonde. Like the last day of school, I came into school and my hair was like dyed blonde. It was like platinum blonde, but it's naturally dark blonde, light brown. So, but it was like from brown, from light brown. My natural hair color is dark brown, light brown. It's brown, but it's the light shade of brown. I got yellow hair. So no, no. So yeah, but the kids were, oh, Miriam, you're so pink. And I was, because at the time I had a phase. I was wearing everything pink. I was wearing a pink skirt. My skirt was pink. My skirt was pink, and I had a pink everything, pink shirt, but it was summer, so like a pink, not a tank top. I was wearing like because I was going to law school, so I was dressing like a nice lawyer lady. I know it's not very attractive. I know. I took advice of you, Robert. That you told me, Robert. You told me, Miriam, being a lawyer it's not attractive. You're not going to be cute, Miri, stop! Don't be a lawyer. Just get a new job, Miri. It's not cool. It's not fun. I'm giving you advice. I'm your very good friend, Miri. Mars is giving advice to the smallest. Mercury is the smallest. And listen to your bigger sibling brother. Listen to advice. Here was my boyfriend Lucas was coming to visit me, and that was the best time of my life. Here Lucas would come, and Louis, because Louis is a Aries. Lucas is an Aries, and Louis is a Gemini, and so Lucas. No, my boyfriend. No, I don't even know what his name was, but no, that's what we called him. No, of course, like it was that name. And I love it. I love my school. I must admit that I really love my school. My school I love it because it's a beautiful organization. It's a private organization. It's called the Family Union. It's a world kind of like organized. It's it's a religious organization under the bandera of a organization which point is that's not very nice, but which point is to promote harmony and peaceful relations. Maybe not the SEDI. Peaceful relations in for the youth, and to raise good kids. And then we went in New York. We were in New York in 2008, and there were people from Latin America, Ameryki Łacińskiej people. There were like a lot of people. There were like more in my class. I had a class. I went to law school, and there were men and women of from some like those from Spain, and other Latin Americans were from South America, And they were like, yeah, like we went to the very same school that you did, like the very same one. It was organized. I had friends, and they were like, yeah. We're peers. Because here we had history class. I'm very sentimental. I coincidentally walked in here today, but I felt I'm very lucky that we went to this beautiful school. It even smells beautiful in here because they planted green trees, like evergreens, like pine trees, and they just smell really nice because they have the sap, the juice. And here there was the gym, and like a bunny. And so we were like sitting in class, and you know what happened? I'm sitting in 10th grade, and there was September 11th, and I was like, oh no, September, like the World Trade Towers were attacked. Yeah, see, entrance to the sports hall. Yeah, the people in this school, like, you would not encounter any pathology, like pathological situations, and the academic level was very good. It was not stressful. The school was stress-free. So like it was, people were not, nobody would like come up to you and bully you like in public school. Half an hour ago I was passing public lame school, and some like 17-year-old girls laughed at me, and that makes you angry. If somebody laughs at you, right. This is a University of the Family Union under the name of General Edmund, who for special education. Well, and we had classes here, but right. It's like for kids. I'm not like a fan of kids, but so it was okay. But my boyfriend came here. He came in his car and he took off his shirt. Now he didn't take off his shirt, but like I was like, oh my God, you don't have any hair on your stomach. That's really attractive. Yes, because the age was 16. But but then after they never had hair on the stomach either. It was like, yeah, like Miriam, I go to the waxing salon. Like, you want me to recommend you? I was like, ew, that's like really queer. You're crazy. Yeah, but it was a great time because it was so warm. And just love gives you wings. And my homeroom teacher, Mr. Peter, came up to me and he's like, oh, Miriam, you look like you're totally in bloom. You're in blossoming, you're in bloom, you're full of flowers. I was like, you look so cheerful. I was like, yes. I said, yes, Sir Peter, because, Pan Piotr, the teacher, homeroom teacher. I said, yeah, it was my English teacher. I said, yeah, Mr. Peter, because I have a boyfriend and he's so great because he's just so magical, and he's very handsome because his hair is pitch black and his hair is actually long. And he doesn't look like silly or anything. He just looks really handsome, and his eyes are green, and he has a deep voice, and he's very intelligent, very mature, and as an Aries, inspired me to undertake the best decision that I have ever undertaken in my life, which was go to law school. Yeah, he was like my daddy, but he was sorry my daddy, but daddy, man, really, probably, I don't know, I wasn't thinking. So he was very inspiring, like really caring. Aries, like, it's like the sheep, but it's like the sheep and ram or sheep. They're like really fluffy, and they really love like the little lambs and stuff. They're very caring. Like they're really like full of. I could feel that. He was like really. He inspired me. He's like, well, he didn't tell me like, oh, my daughter, you should. I tell you, as your forefather, that you you have to sit for 8 hours in 1/4 of the day and study history and geography and logics to enter into the University of Law School. No, he didn't tell me that, but it was just through contact. I was like, oh yeah. And then it was a really smart decision because a lot of also I was considering, maybe I should study something like liberal arts, maybe I should study theater, or maybe I should study music, or maybe I should go to art school, or maybe I should become an architect, so that would be okay. But I was like, the real job that there is a doctor of law. So that I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm really grateful. That that Lucas, he was a gift from the Jewish heaven. He was, because he was like so artistically, like, he knew everything, but it was like really mature, like a mind of like a really smart older man. It was incredible because he had this like dad who was an advocate, and his mom was like really attractive lady, because the advocates, they always have like like really the people were rich, and from like extra, I was feeling intimidated. I was like, oh my god, it's so so full of wealth in here. Do I look good enough? Yeah, but at the same time, like, people who were like extremely wealthy, they like, they're very like generous and full of empathy, and that was particularly that. I was very lucky, and I love that time. I'm always thinking, it's like all I ever think about. I mean, there have been times, and then I would spend 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like over 12 years in law school before I finished my PhD. And I am a doctor of the law of space law in the settlements of Mars. At that time, it was a speed situation. I was speeding because I was purchasing real estate in Mars. Yeah, so that was. But now I have a lot of free time, sort of. But I got a new job. I'm getting a new job. I'm getting a job, which is a good paying job, because I need to have money, because I need to take some like health support stuff. So I have to, because normally if you're like a wounded veteran, and like, probably if it was like a different country, but I don't know, because there's a really bad government in here. Yeah, it is bad, but like, because they lick the ass of the Catholic Church, and like, well, that, because I don't love the church, I can pretend that I do, but that's like that's being weird. It's like, but we can't just complain all the time that the government is so bad, that the government is so bad. But the truth is that they promote women giving birth to kids. It's totally not my thing. Oh, Alfa Romeo and Japanese cars. Yeah, well, it's not, I'm not like interested in giving birth to kids, or even mothering anyone or anything.